Life in our small town moved slowly, like the dust that drifts lazily over the narrow streets, settling on rooftops in cracks on the skin of those who live here. It was a place where the sun rose and set on the same familiar faces, where the sounds of women bargaining at the market, the laughter of children and the creak of old bicycles formed a kind of unspoken rhythm. People thought they knew everything about each other in a town like ours, but there were things you couldn't see, things hidden behind closed doors. My father considered himself a man of discipline, but I knew better. I saw him for what he was, a man who wanted control over everything, even the things he didn't understand, especially the things he didn't understand. I heard people say my father was a good man, that he worked hard for his family, but they didn't hear the things he said to my mother. They didn't see how he towered over her, how she curled inwards, shrinking, trying to disappear. I spent a lot of time watching my mother. She was beautiful, but it was a beauty that was drained. Like an old photograph faded by time, she became my inspiration, my muse, as I started to write stories. In them, I wrote her like she was a queen, because that's what she was to me. A queen who hid her crown underneath a scarf. I remember the day I got sick, how my legs stopped working. They said it was polio. My father said I was cursed. But my mother, she just held me close, whispering that I was still her little girl, still strong. It was then I decided that if I couldn't run, I would write. I would create words where girls like me, women like my mother, didn't have to be afraid.
Okay. Na binci na yake. Am I talking to the wall or am I talking to a human being? Are you not going to answer me?
It's still on fire. Zainunayonzo is almost ready. It just took a while to put everything together.
Just look at you. Eh? It will be ready soon. Eh? Okay, Kiji. I'm not ready for all of this, your excuses. Kinaji Nako. For once, can you not just do anything right at all? Yeah? I go out on a daily to make sure that I cater for this family. And the least that you can do is to make sure that you give me food on time. Koba Hakaba.
Sorry. I'll serve you. I just need to do a few things and to be ready.
Do Baba Kim. Can you just hear what you are saying? Eh? I should wait. I should wait when I'm already late for work. Koba Hakaba. Now I'm considering how I'm going to go and borrow money and buy food during lunch when I get back to work. With money that I don't even have. And you're here saying, Indira Neme. Eh?
I'll package it and bring it to you at the office. Yeah, Kuri.
You better do that. And bring it on time, Kinaji Nako. And make sure that this does not ever happen again. Yeah, shaky.
People said my stories were just stories, but I knew the truth. There were queens hiding everywhere, in every corner of our town, carrying burdens no one else saw. And they were strong, even if they didn't know it yet. But it took something bad to happen for them to realize it.
We're out of work. Yeah.
I don't know. Please add one more.
Yes, biscuits.
Yes, biscuit.
This one?
Yes. And that's 1,000, I guess, no? Okay. Thank you.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Bye-bye.
Ina yini Umma?
I'm fine. Yeah, Kike.
Hello.
I was going to start looking for you now.
Aisha, there you are. Hey, Auntie Benita, how are you?
Auntie Benita is a nurse at the community clinic. She was one of the people besides my mother who didn't treat me like I was useless or a burden. She was the first person to ask about my stories.
How is my favorite writer doing?
I'm doing great.
Are you writing anything new?
I'm working on something, but it's not ready yet.
Well, but that's the most difficult part, starting at all, right?
Yes.
So we would be having a workshop this Saturday at the community center. It's in preparation for the 16 days of activism towards gender-based violence against women and girls. You both should come.
Alaikum.
Auntie Benita also works for the Daurama Foundation, and she says they are trying to change things here to help women find their voices, women like my mother. I wanted to go. I wanted to stand in a room full of voices like mine to see if I could make mine louder, but I knew what Mama was thinking, that it was just another dream, and dreams that didn't feed us, didn't keep a roof over our heads.
So like I was saying, we want everyone to come because we'll be talking about health. We'll be talking about education and how we can stand up for each other. The fact that we are women does not mean that we are the weaker vessels. No. So we have to learn how to stand up for ourselves. We stand up for each other. We stand up for our mom, our sisters, ourselves. And guess what, my people? This workshop is totally free. Yes, it is free, entirely free, thanks to the Daurama Foundation. And you know me now, Benita. I will never call you to a place where you will not benefit. You will benefit intellectually. You will improve your strength. And then there will still be things for your tummy. Because there will be small chops. Yes. We know that we are not coming because of the small chops now. That one is very little. It is by the way. Because that is not what is important. What is important is how we are going to build our strength. How we are going to gain knowledge. How we are going to use all of the resources we are going to learn from this workshop to improve ourselves. Isn't it? Yes. Please, make sure no flyer stays in your hand though. Please pass it to the back. That my auntie at the back. See flyer, I'll pass it to her. That one.
Will you be going? You know, I want to go, but I don't know if Malik will let me. He doesn't like me going out without him knowing. Do you think we can go together?
I'll see. I'll see about that.
Aisha? Ya wurin nan ne ya makaranta ya yake?
Kalau Baba.
Ya. To. Kuma kin hanzarta ki gama da kawarin kina jina ko? Hurry up and finish so that we can marry you off to someone. You understand? So that you can become somebody else's problem. Kina jina ko? Though I wonder who would even want to marry a cripple right now. You know, a cripple and she's a woman. You know, if she was, or you were a cripple and you were a male, you know, society can be able to accept a cripple that is male, but a cripple that is woman, then, you know, whoever will accept you now will just, you know, try to support you with a trade so that you can be able to support yourself. Me, I will not be able to do that.
Baba, if I don't get married, I want to be an author.
An author? An author? Oh, to yanzan nan kina nufi I should move you up to the level of university kenan ko? I barely make scraps from the work that I do in the mines. I barely bring anything home to support my family. Say, kina tunanin wai in kai ki har university kenan ko? Yeah? Ke kuma kin zo na shiru kina ta jinta. Now what do you think about this? What do you think about her being an author?
She can, but maybe not an author. Maybe she would learn a trade. Just so she doesn't have any man or husband mistreating or...
What do you mean by that? Yeah?
I just mean that because of her condition, if she learns a trade, she'll be able to take care of herself. There's a workshop in the community this weekend by the Daurama Foundation. They support girls and women and teach them how to do business or how to learn a trade. I'd want for Aisha to go there, and me too.
Is it free? I do not have even 1 kobo to register anybody for any vocational study.
It's free.
Fine. Majalla, you can go. Amma bari in faɗa miki. Any trade that she will learn, anything that she will make from that trade, it must first have to come to me because I am the head of this family and I'll decide how any money she makes is spent. Kina jina ko?
Naji, of course.
I heard every word, every cry, every whisper of fear. They say it's not in our place to interfere. But I don't understand. How can we just pretend not to see? I wrote it all down because someone had to remember. Someone had to know, even if it was just me.
All right, let's get things started. We have a lot to do today. We're here to listen as much as we're here to speak. I agree with you.
Welcome, Amina, Zara. I am so glad you could make it.
We're happy to be here.
I already have everything set up inside. And believe me when I tell you that we're going to have a huge turnout.
Wow.
Because we not only are expecting people from within the community, but also the neighboring communities. We handed out a lot of flyers.
Easy.
Let's go.
Okay. This way.
Thank you for coming. Morning. Thank you. Settle down. You're welcome. You're welcome.
Welcome, everyone. Thank you. Hello, everyone. Are we all settled? Yes. Oh, welcome. Thank you. Every woman has the right to safety, dignity, and freedom. You deserve to live without fear no matter who you are or where you come from. If you're being hurt, I need you to know that you're not alone.
I have a question.
Yes, go ahead.
What if the violence comes from within the home?
Now, that's often the hardest to face. But that is also where change must begin. If you're going through that, I need you to know that it is not your fault. And there are people who are out there to listen, people who would help. The Daurama Foundation has resources, legal aid, shelter. counseling, everything you need to reclaim your voice. So we must all take advantage of that.
What kind of nonsense is going on here? What kind of nonsense is going on here? You will come and just be telling these women lies to turn their backs against us, we the men? You people are not serious. Who do you think you are?
We are not telling them any lies. We are here to empower. We are here to educate. These women, they deserve to know that they have a right. They deserve to know that they can live without fear.
Yes. Harkuna che yes.
Yes.
Let me tell you something. You don't have any right to come and poison the minds of these women against we the men. It is not going to happen in this community as far as I'm concerned. You cannot poison them.
We are not poisoning them.
Okay, in fact, where? Halima! Halima! Yawa, Chizolong Ubanchi. What kind of? Let us go.
Leave her alone. Leave her
Halima!
alone. She's not going anywhere with you.
You will come back home.
Hey, we're more than you. Nonsense man. Nonsense madman.
Sit down. Don't fear. All right, we're here for you. Sit down.
Halima, look at me. Take a good look at the faces of all of these women. That is as much voice as we have against one man. No, you can't do this, Halima.
No, I can't.
You can.
I can't. He'll make it worse. I can't.
Halima, just breathe, okay? If you search deep within you, that strength is there. You can. We are not going to leave you alone. We will stand by you no matter what. You can do this. You can do it. Okay?
Kindao, you are back. So finally, you know you are coming back to this house. You will make them to disrespect me. Na yi kama da sarinki? Zaki ci burowanki yau. I give you this assurance. Come, let's go inside. Eh? Kina wasa da ni? Eh? Wasa da ni kike yi? Eh? Kina wasa da ni? Eh? Kina wasa da ni? Wasa da ni kike yi? Eh? Kin ba kamar ni tsarin. Are you crazy? Are you crazy? You embarrass me? You think I'm your man? Let me tell you something. You are my property. I bought you with my own money. You will not tell me nonsense. You will not tell me nonsense. You will not tell me nonsense. Halima, get up. Halima, Inna lillahi wa inna ilaihi rajiun. Inna lillahi wa inna ilaihi rajiun. You see what I'm talking about? You caused this boy yourself, Halima. You caused this boy yourself. How?
Someone please help her. Someone please help her. Someone please help. Someone please help her. Someone. Please.
Move away from that window.
Uma, do something. Uma, let's help her, please.
We can't go out there. If we try to help her, it will only make things worse for her. And for us too.
Uma, didn't they teach us at the workshop to be brave? To stand up for each other? Uma, please.
My dear child, courage doesn't come so easily. Especially when it has been scared out of you for so long. It's okay.
Hey! Miriam, where's my food?
Yes, sir.
Listen, Malik did what every man could do. His wife disrespected him. She brought this upon herself.
So you're saying that beating a woman to death is just discipline? He claims armed robbers broke into his house, but the story doesn't add up. No signs of forced entries, no break-in, yet nothing was stolen.
Exactly my point. Malik is just trying to save his skin. Like, he went too far. Too far. Now, look at him. He's scrambling for excuses.
Now you know the thing? If you don't call out these kinds of behavior, this will keep happening. Yeah? But you know how it is around here. The moment you speak up against another man, you become the enemy.
Oh.
Did you hear? Yes. Malik's wife, Halima. I heard she was taken to the hospital.
Malik said he came back and found her beaten up. And he thinks armed robbers did it.
Which armed robbers? And why only their house? Did they steal anything? No. I think he's lying.
Yes. He lies.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
We took Halima to the hospital in the city, but she died before we got there. Halima died because she could no longer take it. She died because she dared to stand up to her husband, Malik.
The police, they won't do anything. Of course they won't. Even though they know what these men do to us.
They will. Not when enough of us stand together and speak up. Malik won't get away with this. Not this time.
And this is why we must keep fighting.
This is why we need to raise our voices. We need to lift our voices so high that they can no longer ignore us. Malik has to pay for what he's done. Yes. And not just Malik, but every other man out there like Malik. They have to pay for what they have done. Yes. And you all know me now. Una sabi me no be today. Na me now, Benita.
Aisha, I understand how you feel. But going out there, I don't think it will be safe for you. What will people say? What if something happens to you? Mr. Farouk?
Uma, if we are concerned about what people will say, we can never do anything. Uma, Halima didn't deserve to die. And if I don't speak up now, I'll regret it forever.
But you're just one girl. What difference will that make?
I'm not just a girl. I'm a voice. And just one voice is enough to start up something big. Bigger than all of us. Uma, if we don't have the courage to speak up, we'll remain silent forever.
And you will not do it without me. Let's go.
I have always stood by you. I am always fighting for you. But my people, I am just one person. I cannot do it all by myself. I cannot do it alone. I need your help. I need your voices. Who is with me?
I'm with you, Auntie Benita.
Me too.
I am so glad you're here, Aisha. Both of you.
I am tired. Tired of acting like everything is okay. Pretending when I know that it is not. Malik killed Halima, beat her to death. Just because I could not stop him because I was afraid. No more. For how long would we allow them silence us? Guys, we will not let it happen again. Yes. We will fight.
Yes. Our voice must be heard. I've written so many stories. Stories that I've not shared with anyone. I want to share your stories. Halima's story. If you let me.
I'm with you too.
Me too.
Let's do it. Let our voice be heard.
Thank you, Aisha. Thank you, everyone. This is the end.
Yes!
We say no more to domestic violence.
Yes!
We put an end to gender-based violence.
Yes!
We say no more.
No more!
We say justice.
Justice!
Justice for Halima.
Justice for Halima!
We say justice for the girls.
Justice for the girls!
We say justice for the women.
Justice for the women!
We say justice.
Justice!
Justice.
Justice!
Justice.
Justice!
Justice.
Justice!
Justice.
Justice!
Let's go. Justice. 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 Justice.
Justice!
Justice. Justice. Gender violence has to stop.
Gender violence has to stop!
Gender violence has to stop.
Gender violence has to stop!
We as stronger than you know.
We are stronger than you know.
Justice for one is justice for all.
Justice for one is justice for all.
We are stronger than you know.
We are stronger than you know.
Justice for one is justice for all.
Justice for one is justice for all.
We are stronger than you know.
We are stronger than you know.
Gender violence has to stop.
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 We are not weak. We are not weak. We are not weak. We are not weak. Stop gender-based violence.
Stop gender-based violence.
Stop gender-based violence.
Stop gender.
Not be silent.
We will not be silent.
Stop gender-based violence.
We are strong.
Women are not weak.
Women are not weak.
Girls are not weak.
Girls are not weak.
Women are not weak.
Women are not weak.
Girls are not weak.
Girls are not weak.
Stop gender-based violence.
Stop gender-based violence.
Stop gender-based violence.
Stop gender-based violence.
We are so strong.
We are so strong.
We are strong.
Justice for Halima! 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 Wicked man!
I did it. I killed Halima.
And you will die for it! Punish you! Justice for Halima! 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 Justice for Halima!
I have been watching the protests and reading the pamphlets. Now I see that what I've done, it was wrong. I was frustrated. I was angry at not being where I wanted to be, and I took it out on you. I took it out on this family.
All of us are hurting, Karim. But it doesn't have to be like this. I want us to get back what we have lost. The love that we had. But we both have to work at it together.
I want that too. I'm willing to do whatever it takes to make things right. Aisha. I know that too many things went wrong. And I haven't been the father that you deserved. But I want you to know that I see you. I see your strength. I see your courage. And I want you to know that you can be anything you want to be. And I'll stand by you however I can.
They stand with us, Papa. They came from different places, from farms and homes scattered across the region. They came not just for themselves, but for their daughters, their sisters, their friends, for the chance to dream a little bigger. I knew the workshop wasn't just about learning a skill. It was about planting a seed, a small fragile thing that could one day grow into something strong enough to stand against the darkness.
It's a scholarship.
Huh?
Sponsored by the Daurama Foundation. We have heard your voice and we want to help you amplify it.
Mashallah. Thank you. Mongode.
Thank you.
So you mean I can finally go to school and become an author? Yes.
My baby.
I'll be right.
Yes.
Makarantar ya fara kenan. Mashallah, madalla. Mun gode.
Thank you.
Thank you, Auntie Benita.
Thank you.
For so long, I thought silence was my only refuge. But I was wrong. My voice, our voices, are louder than the darkness, stronger than the fear. And now we are heard.
Nigerian women face a lot of challenges, ranging from inadequate legal protection, cultural stigmas, and limited access to support services.
Domestic violence is almost cultural. It's almost like a cultural practice. It's almost a normative practice. It's been institutionalized in so many ways because of how normalized, how normal, it is. There's a lot of abandonment of dependence by especially the men.
Domestic violence is actually a pandemic. That's the reality. It is huge. It's worse than COVID. Because I think COVID is the relatable pandemic we can actually think of at the moment. That's to show how wide the scope is. And interestingly, there are new forms and there are emerging violence. We have the physical violence, we have the sexual violence, we have the emotional violence, we have the financial violence.
Many women fear reporting abuse due to fear of retaliation.
So I work in the north, and there are certain misconceptions. For instance, a northern woman, during childbirth, I just want to, give a breakdown. During childbirth, you're not expected to cry too much. When you cry too much, they tell you that you're not a strong woman. So you can imagine how, if something as minute as that, then you can imagine how domestic violence is taken in the north. So when your husband hits you, it's like, he loves you, he's showing you that he loves you. And some women in the north, they will tell you that, from the communities that we work with, they'll tell you, my husband doesn't hit me, doesn't love me enough. That when he hits me, he's correcting me, and so it's okay. And it's even a thing of shame for you to say, my husband is hitting me as a young man.
So some of the misconceptions about domestic violence I've encountered are that family cannot harm you. People who have professed love for you before cannot harm you. That's a very big misconception. And the thing about it is that a lot of times, before you open up yourself to somebody, whether it is to have sex with them or it is to cohabit with them, there's a level of trust that is gained or cultivated. And so if somebody comes in and breaches that trust with the violence they perpetrate on you, then it is important to call it out for what it is.
Women especially go through it, but they lack the willpower to come out and voice it. And then people who know that some certain women are also going through this lack the voice and probably even the direction, are trying to expose it, I'm a victim of rape and I come to you and the first thing you say to me that, don't be you go in your house. Shebi na your boyfriend, you call him. That you are my boyfriend does not give you a right to forcefully have sexual intercourse with me. Even within spouses, it is expected that there must be consent. It must be mutually agreed. So you don't tell me that Nami wear clothes, go in house, so therefore it's a license. It's not a license. If you forcefully have sexual intercourse with me, you've committed rape.
The Nigerian culture has like a perversive influence on how, women are treated. And these, things men are built up like that. And, the major holders of power in our homes and our society are the men. So they are built up to, you are a man. So when you can't stand a woman talking to you, you can hit her to tell her that you are a man. And people don't know that that's a sign of weakness.
So my inspiration to focus on combating violence against women stems from stories I have encountered throughout my career.
So that now takes me to the existing laws in Nigeria. So now, interestingly, thankfully, we have laws. We have the Violence Against Persons law that was passed in 2015. So when we look at the VAP law that was passed in 2015, 34 states have passed, they have the Violence Against Persons Prohibition law. At state level is called law. At the national level is called an act. So at the national level is Violence Against Persons Prohibition Act. At the state level is Violence Against Persons Prohibition law.
But the thing is that even with these seemingly fantastic pieces of legislation, implementation-wise, I think that people just feel like this is Nigeria, let's break as much laws as we can, especially since we have the power to. Because we still have children being tried as adults. And then when you go out and say, oh, why is a child being tried as an adult in open court without assessors present, amongst other things? What is the state of our family courts? Then you're said to be fighting the judiciary, and then you have, officers of the courts after you, trolling you everywhere.
Women's rights are human rights, yet a lot of women suffer in silence in Nigeria. So I believe that through the Daurama Foundation, we can create an environment where these women can feel safe and empowered.
I'm a survivor of sexual and gender-based violence. I was raped. So at the result of rape, I was pregnant. So I seek Nigeria police for help. They abandoned me. Almost 5 months gone and I don't know. I've never been to antenatal before. So on the day of the delivery, that's October, on my way to the hospital, I gave birth to Imole. It's at the taxi.
I was sleeping at the time he came back. That's about 2 a.m. or so. But the thing that woke me up is I felt the weight of his body on me. And I woke up. Of course, I began to fight him off. And I was screaming, and I was hitting, and I was blowing. And it was so funny because I didn't understand what was happening. Because I was like, is he drunk that he wanted to sleep on the bed and somehow landed? Like, I just was trying to understand. Anyway, we fought and I was screaming. Finally, luckily for me, someone heard, someone heard me screaming and then barged into the room, opened the door.
I'm a victim of sexual gender-based violence. At the age of 7 to the age of 15, I was sexually, physically, and verbally abused by my dad for 9 good years. Well, I told my mom about it, and then she was never there for me. In that case, it seems like she preferred a marriage over me. And there I lost all the hopes I had. I was like, oh, my mom who could have stand for me, defend me. She was never there for me. Then who else would be there for me? The first question they asked was, it seems you were enjoying it. That was why you did not speak up on time. And I was like, if you are in my situation where the person you had open was never there for you, I don't think you have the courage to speak out anymore.
When my baby was born, it started from the hospital. When my baby was born, so during that first week, something happened, and blood started coming out from my nipple. So I told him about it, and he told his mom. His mom said that it happens to every woman. So that I'm giving excuse not to breastfeed my child so that my breast will not fall. That's why she told her son not to marry from Owerri, because we don't like doing anything for our family. I had to call the family doctor that was at LifeSpring then. He said that breastfeeding was not safe for me at that time. I was taking my final year exam during that period. We had issue again around breast milk, and he beat me in the house and locked me in the house. I'll not go anywhere. So I missed my exam the Thursday. I did not leave. He packed my things one day after asking me to go to Everright for a checkup, because he finished beating me that day and I think he was very scared. He asked me to go for checkup. On my way back, he said I should stop at UBA Bank, and I stopped and I entered the car and I saw my things there, and they drove to my father's house. So he dropped my things and I was asking him, where is my son? And he drove us, he drove off. So my dad was calling him, and he said that he doesn't want the marriage again. So I told them to help me so that I can go and bring my child that particular day, that night. My parents said no, that I cannot raise a child in their home. And my child was just the next day, we make him like 1 year or so. It was during that 11 months to 1 year. I didn't want to leave again because every day, every night, I kept dreaming about him. I kept having nightmares that he's calling me and I wasn't answering. Then I will not see him again. Then I wake up crying where I was staying, where I was living with the people I was living with. I want them to help me with the finance to be able to process the court case so that I can see my son, because he gave me 30th of September. If not, he's going to travel outside the country and I will not see my son again. He's just playing around with dates. He's just playing with me that I will not be able to do it, and that he will just laugh and say, is it in this country that I will get justice? That okay now, I just want to be able to be with my son.
The Daurama Foundation aims to reduce domestic violence rates, provide comprehensive support to survivors, and advocate for stronger protections. Additionally, we would organize legal literacy programs that would help women understand their rights and avenues available for them to seek justice.
We intend to do this by working hand in hand with the stakeholders in every community we intend to reach. So in every community, there are people who the masses listen to. There are people who are able to make major decisions. We have some of them are like the chiefs, local government chairmen, and all of those.
At Daurama Foundation, we give counseling to survivors of domestic violence. We try to get into them knowing exactly what they've been through, so we know the specific kind of support each survivor needs.
You can't underemphasize on education. It's something that's recurrent. You have to keep doing it. You need to keep educating people on this particular matter, which is domestic violence.
Education and public awareness are essential to our strategy. Everyday citizens can make a difference by advocating for change, supporting survivors, challenging harmful norms, and reporting suspected abuse. Small actions can collectively lead to significant progress in creating safer communities for everyone.